Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wintz here with a look at your forecast. We're going to dive into the warm days in June as we get into the month of June here over the weekend and next week. Just incredible how much time is flying and how fast it's flying around here. I'm going to make this as quick as I can this evening. It's our kids' last day of school today. It was, and so we have a tradition where we go get ice cream after school, and then we usually do a movie, a family movie tonight. So obviously I've got an earlier bedtime than they do, but they're on summer break. So boy, you can feel the energy in the house. Let me tell you, they're off, and it just means our daily babysitter of school is gone. So a little bit more work for mom and dad, but it's, there's just that certain feeling you get with summer vacation. Even as an adult, if nothing changes, you still get it through the kids, and it certainly has good energy here. Good juju in the Wintz household tonight. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Jeff's with us. I see you, Jeff. Good evening to you. His Ladybug 12 is with us. Hello. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Rhonda's with us. Angel's with us. Mary, hello to you too. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. We've got, I know, middle of the week, and we're getting into summer months, right? Last thing you want to do is sit and watch a Facebook Live broadcast. So, again, we'll make this short and sweet. As always, our sponsors are up there. They're wonderful. They're all local to Northwest Indiana. Earl's Heating and Air Conditioning. You guys need any AC work done whatsoever, it's earlsheating.com. They've been serving Northwest Indiana since 1976. They know what they are doing. PSA, that's publicserviceadjusting.com. They will handle insurance claims and do everything between you and your insurance agency. You guys know who they are. They do great work. If you guys have any insurance claims, PSA is the place to go, publicserviceadjusting.com. Romansroofing.net, not only do they do residential properties, if you've got, you need gutter work done, they do windows, they do siding, they do roofs as well. But if you have a commercial property that needs some work done, they're happy to do that as well. Romansroofing.net, place to go there. Great Lakes Lighting, if you want wonderful lighting on your landscaping or your property to enhance security or just the look of it in general, Great Lakes Lighting does an amazing job. You should see their work over on their Facebook page. The website to go to there is lightupnwi.com. They'd be happy to come out and give you a free estimate for what you got going on. Minogue.life, the website to go to for Michael Minogue. He knows life insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, that world so well. He knows all the rules, all the changes that happen every month and every year. He's got them down, and you may not have them down like he does. You may not be getting what you need out of your plans, benefits maybe. Maybe you're not getting some of the benefits that you already have earned. He'll help you sort through that. He'd be happy to just sit down with you just so you have general knowledge about it. Again, Minogue.life, the website to go to there. Kate Cusack for Ruoff Mortgage, our local lender for all your mortgage needs. She wants to get you in a dream home with a pool in time for summer. All right, we're running out of time. You're probably scrolling Zillow. If there's anything you're interested in, just let her know. My goodness, she knows what she's doing as well. She'll get you pre-approved, ready to go so you can make that offer and get the dream home just in time for summer. Kate Cusack, Home Loan Girl on Facebook, or you can give her a call, 219-775-6645. TigerPlumbing.net, the place to go for your area plumber. They're just wonderful folks. You guys all have 5-star reviews about Tiger Plumbing. I'm not kidding. Not one person has complained about them, and 100 people have said we had them out, and they're wonderful. If you need anything done, faucet replaced, outdoor spigot replaced, TigerPlumbing.net, place to go. FBIBuildings.com for pole barn construction. They've done over 20,000 of them in the Midwest. Residential, commercial, they do a great job. They also renovate existing structures as well. FBIBuildings.com, place to go there. TNT Tree Service, there's 3 T's in this, TTTreeservice.com. If you have any trees that need taken down, maybe ones that are taken down by Mother Nature the last couple months, they'll clean all that up for you. They do an amazing job. 5-star reviews for them across the board. TTTreeservice.com. And finally, last but not least, Grigor's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. They have brand new Jeeps ready to go here for the summer season. Everything comes off but the wheels and the engine. So there's that. Grigor's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso, right there on US 30. All right, we've got some more people that have joined us here this evening. Maxwell says, "Bring on the heat." That's okay, Kathy. You need to get out of work. Leave work right now. You don't have my permission. I don't want to get you in trouble. Jeff's with us. Good evening, Jeff. Dave, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time. Rich, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And Jacob, it's been a wonderful day. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day too. All right, let's dive into the forecast, shall we? We've got a messy pattern across the Great Lakes right now. This is very typical of the summer months, but it's actually more typical of late spring and early summer, which is now, because you tend to get these cutoff systems that kind of meander around, and then you have that summertime dew point or the summertime moisture around, which we don't have the super high dew points, but we've got the moisture in place. So look at this mess on the satellite. There are clouds everywhere. We are squeaking out some sunshine here this evening for a few of us. Lake and Porter counties. Porter County, you're starting to see the clearing now, but Lake County, you've got some sunshine. Newton, Jasper County, you've been lucky as well. But everyone around us has clouds, so enjoy it while it lasts. There's a general area low pressure to the north. We had that soaking rain that moved through earlier, which is now east. But my point is with this, it's still messy, and there tends to be rain everywhere on radar, at least pockets of it this time of year. So as I flip it on over to the radar, you can see there's just a lot of scattered rain. There's a system here. There's some pop-ups here. There's a system that went by earlier. There's all sorts of rain and drizzle out towards Pennsylvania, storms down towards the south. You get the idea. We may not completely clear out over the next couple of days. I've got pop-ups in the forecast, although most hours and most locations will be dry. And again, that is kind of where we're going in the forecast here over the summer months. It's not a lazy meteorological forecast. It's the way it is. There's just a lot of moisture, and it doesn't take much to pop a shower or a thunderstorm this time of year. So as we go through time, overnight tonight will dry out. We'll actually have high pressure kind of settle in overhead tonight. So we should dry out. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some fog and spots tomorrow morning because we do have that moisture in place. And then throughout the day tomorrow, here's your pop-up chance. Again, few and far between, but can't rule it out. Just kind of a messy weather map. This is the main feature down towards the south that's going to kind of take over. If it's kind of like there's just a bunch of lows, like general low pressures in spots, and none of them are leaders, right? They all kind of do their own thing. Well, this one's going to kind of take over as a leader. It's going to raise its hand and say, all right, I'll take over. And as you see, that becomes a little bit better organized in terms of moisture with storms. This will pass south of us. That's the good news. So pop-up possible tomorrow. Otherwise, we're dry. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, we'll watch this system slide downstate. All right, should be a soaking rain for those folks. And then it heads out towards the east. And then we bring in this feature. This is our last feature, our last cold front before we kind of dry up and get warm next week, as we're talking about with the heat. This is our last little speed bump or pothole, so to speak, in terms of temperatures. And this is a front diving south right out of Canada. This one's got some chilly air with it, as you'll see here in the forecast. So we'll dive in. We'll kind of pick it up where we left off. There's the system heading by. This is Friday. If you have Friday plans, we look good early in the day, but by evening, and I've had this in the forecast all week, and the apps and weather service did not have it in the forecast all week with the rain chances because they look like they were east, but I'm telling you, fronts like this tend to produce moisture a little bit further west than what the models are saying, and that's exactly what we've got going on, where we're going to have some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder late Friday into Friday evening, all right? And that's with that cold front that's going to be pushing by, bringing in a shot of cool air on Saturday. Saturday looks dry. I know a lot of you have plans on Saturday. We have someone in the Region Weather family who even has a wedding for her daughter on Saturday. We look good, but it's going to be cool and it's going to be breezy around here. I think that rain gets out of here at least by daybreak. It should be out Friday night, but we would linger it in the daybreak in the percentages. But notice we're fine on Saturday. Cool breeze off the lake. I'll show you temperatures in a second. And then Sunday, we start the pattern change, okay? Sunday looks great as well. I think we're going to have a really nice weekend, albeit chilly on Saturday, but Sunday's recovery day. And notice how we not only dry up, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, and this is getting into Wednesday night, Thursday. So we've got a nice dry stretch in here. And we also have a big warm-up before this next frontal boundary approaches. Now, the timing of this front is going to differ. Right now, the Euro has it passing on Thursday for really our next shot at rain after the one that comes on Friday. This may kind of back up a little bit. We may see this rain pass on Friday instead. And the reason why I say that is because there's going to be a big Bermuda high pressure off the East Coast. And typically in those patterns, that ridge tends to hold a little bit stronger than what the models think, and it slows everything down. So I wouldn't be surprised if this front pass maybe Thursday night or Friday versus Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I've seen that in the modeling in the past. Either way, we get some kind of front through here. Could have some good storms with that because our temperatures and our dew points will be elevated. It's going to be pretty hot later this week. Once that goes through, we'll get a little relief from some of the heat later this week, and then we kind of lock and reload, and we get into that stormy pattern we were talking about with numerous frontal boundaries in here as we go into the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of June in that time frame. And you can see we stay kind of stormy around here. All right, how about temperatures, though? Here's the nice rise. Tomorrow we'll be up near 70 again. The sunshine will return with a pop-up chance. Friday, that's out ahead of that front that will be dropping south. Should have a day nice and in the 70s. But then Saturday cools down, boy, and even Sunday's kind of on the cooler side. I may bump temperatures up Sunday a little bit from these numbers, but Saturday looks legit, and I think we'll hold in the upper 50s near the lakeshore Saturday with a wind coming off the lake. So pretty incredible cool air for this time of year on Saturday behind that front. Sunday, I would bump us up to near 70, and then you can see the heat is on. I mean, we're talking low to mid, even upper 80s at times as we go into the extended forecast, and that's because we've got a nice big ridge that's going to take over the eastern U.S. We'll have the trough out west, and so big changes to the forecast, right? We've had a cool end to the month of May around here. It's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks that we've had below average temperatures in general, and we're going to flip that switch. We're going to go to the 80s, which aren't unheard of, right? We've been waiting for the 80s, but they are on the way. So if you have, a pool and you're waiting for that sucker to warm up, it feels like bath water or ice water right now, or ice bath. This is going to start to help that, especially these overnight lows as well in the 60s. Those will help all of our waters to warm, including Lake Michigan, which will in turn help some of these cooler air masses warm up a little bit as well. All right, another thing I want to show you, the dew points. This is that mugginess that we feel to the atmosphere. You can see today, yeah, we've got a little murkiness around. You can kind of feel the air. It's not quite humid, though. We get a shot of dry air behind the front this weekend. You can see it there with all the brown shades coming in. That's some very dry, comfortable air. So both Saturday and Sunday will feature very comfortable air. Again, a little bit chilly. That will help our lows to drop at night as well. No frost or anything like that. And then as you can see, as we go into the month of June, this is Monday, June 2nd. Notice the humidity is building out towards the west. And here it comes. Once that high pressure heads east and we get that front attaching to it next Wednesday and Thursday, the humidity is here. And we're talking mid to upper 60s for dew points. So it will be on the muggy side with warm temperatures as well. That front will go through as it looks right now and bring in another shot of dry air for the following weekend. So Friday, Saturday, the following weekend look really nice right now. And then that humidity builds back with another front. And you notice it just kind of hangs around. It keeps trying to build north. The front will knock it south. It builds north again. Front will knock it south. But we are dancing around with some humidity, as you'd expect. Last thing I want to show you, I told you we'd be brief tonight, and then we'll answer your questions. Any questions you've got, go ahead and put them in the chat. In terms of heat indices, we could be feeling more like 90. We posted that this morning. We're going to have some pretty warm temperatures around here. So kick it off on Monday. This is your heat index, or what it feels like. So Monday afternoon, feeling more like 81, 82. We can handle that, right? Tuesday afternoon, feeling more like 81, 82. We can handle that as well. And then Wednesday, that's when the warmth comes in. So now we're feeling like 86, 87. That's where we're starting to get a little uncomfortable, right? And then you can see on Thursday with that front, as long as that front makes it by, we would be fine after that. Some of the models yesterday were showing heat indices getting up into the 90 degree, 95 degree range in portions of the Hoosier State. But that front looks to be a little bit more progressive. So that would make just kind of 2 days of warmth around here. But then that heat would rebuild. And you can see by the time we roll into the following weekend, June 8th, could have heat indices up into the mid to upper 80s again. So you get the idea. Nothing too barbarically crazy. We can get real hot this time of year. Some of our hottest temperatures in the state have occurred in the month of June. So we can certainly get there, but I don't see anything crazy in terms of those temperatures here getting out of control. But it is going to get warmer next week, and it's going to get to the point where it becomes just a little bit more uncomfortable around here versus putting on the layers. We're going to be, shedding the layers. So there's that. All right. Happy to answer your questions, and we'll get you on your way here on this Wednesday. I do appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy work week. I like to do these on Wednesdays for you, just to give you kind of a midweek checkup, but that's where we are here today. So look who's with us tonight, Romans Roofing. It's June 4th through 6th, still looking crazy. It's looking warm, but not that front that's going to be coming through is looking a lot more progressive. And so as a result, we don't stay with the heat as long. So here's your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Yeah, we get into the 80s. We'll have heat indices up into the upper 80s as we talked about, but it doesn't last as long as it was showing up in the models yesterday, where it looked like we were going to have like a 5 or 6 day stretch of some upper 80 degree heat around here. So it's backed off a little bit. So still hot next week. We will turn the corner with that. The humidity builds as well, but in my mind, it's nothing we can't handle. All right. Roofing's a different story though. All right. It gets a lot hotter up on that roof, especially with asphalt shingles. We're dealing with 95 degree heat indices, even up near 100 on a day where we're sitting 80 at the surface. So certainly going to be hot for all the roofers and construction workers out there. for sure. All right, Vicky, good evening to you. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you, Carol. Thanks for joining us as well. I hope you guys obviously got something out of this in terms of what the forecast is going to do. So really, just kind of in summary, I always like to summarize these. What we're watching next is going to be that frontal boundary that passes Friday into Friday night. All right, that's our next real game changer that comes through. Winds are going to pick up Friday night into Saturday with that cooler air as well. And then beyond that, we talk heat next week, and we'll also be looking at that front for the potential of some bigger storms next Thursday. Remember when we've got the heat and humidity around, and we're going to kind of shut it off for a little bit. So we may have some bigger storms next week. So there's that. Rhonda's heading out to Des Moines Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Happy to check for you, Rhonda. Probably similar to us. I think they'll be nice and dry out there. So here's Saturday. Well, I beg to differ. So the front goes by here with the rain, and it kind of stalls, and it looks like they've got some kind of warm front out towards Iowa. So there's a slight chance of a pop-up out in Des Moines on Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday looks good. So we're looking good out there. And you said Monday too. So Monday looks great. All right. And temperatures out in Des Moines will probably be warmer than here because that's where the heat's going to start. So in terms of the temps, we switched model runs here. Here we go. So in terms of temps, this is Saturday afternoon right here. So Des Moines up near 80. And then Sunday up near 80 again. So pretty warm out there. And then Monday is going to be your hottest day, 84-ish, somewhere around there, probably mid-80s as we get some heat starting to build out there. So does look good though, Rhonda. Your only chance of rain looks to be Saturday afternoon. Yeah, Maxwell, we do. We got to be careful of derecho season, the summer months. Yeah, it's that time of year. June, July, August is when we tend to get those big complexes of storms that can produce derechos or long-lived damaging wind events. Certainly possible. I mean, that's the time when we get it in the summer months when we get a big ridge developing. We get those storms that ride around it. I don't see that ring of fire pattern developing anytime soon. I mean, there's going to be some heat in the plains, but there's enough frontal boundaries to keep it from developing. So I don't see that pattern yet. So we'll see. Roman says, I meant the severe weather watch for next week. Oh, you mentioned Sunday there were storms for multiple days. Yeah, so that pattern is, so we were looking at it on Sunday, and it looked like that later next week into the following weekend, we were going to get a front that stalled, and we would have multiple days of storms. Now that front looks progressive, as I mentioned on Thursday. So it looks like it actually passes through versus stalling. And that's not a guarantee because that high is going to be really strong off the East Coast. But the front looks like it passes through. And because of that, we would bring in stable air for a couple of days, which would negate any storm chances. And then it does look like the following week, we now inherit that stormy pattern around here. So, yeah, good call on that. Yeah, we talked about that on Sunday, we were looking at that being the end of next week. Into the following week, and now it looks like more so the following week that we would get into that for sure. Rhonda, thank you. Yeah, we're looking forward to a nice weekend. Jacqueline, I appreciate that. Such kind words from you this evening. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. No, that's okay, Jacob. So, no, I'm not expecting bad weather on Friday. We will have a front that comes south, though. We will have some rain that moves in. Could have a couple rumbles of thunder. I'm not looking at severe weather on Friday. It's just a cold front that's going to make us feel like fall on Saturday. It's going to drop south across the lake, and it's going to get kind of breezy around here. And I'll show you temperatures. I mean, just look at the temperatures. We'll go apparent temperatures on here. So here it comes. See this front right here? These are your temperatures. This is Friday night. We go from 77 or so down into the 60s and then down into the 50s. And then waking up Saturday morning, I mean, we may have 40s in some of the outlying locations. So we go from 77 Friday afternoon into the evening to 40s waking up Saturday morning with a stiff wind off the lake. And then you can see the highs on Saturday. See that cooling that takes place? This is what I'm talking about. I'll zoom in for you. See this cooling, the shadow of the lake with the cold water temperatures and that wind gusting off that lake. These are your highs on Saturday. Probably 50s near the lake shore. I've got us in the 60s inland. It's really hard to be this cool this time of year. It really is, because that sun is so strong. I mean, we've got our highest, one of our highest sun angles of the year as we get into the month of June. And as a result, we have strong energy from the sun as well. So it's hard to not warm up as we get into the month of June. This will be the last day of May, though, but chilly on there. So I don't expect severe weather, though, with that front. So no problem on that. Maxwell said the high goes more east and expect we get some more storms. Yeah, Maxwell, for sure. Those highs tend to stay put, though. They tend to actually be further to the west than expected, and they tend to slow systems down. So I'm surprised with the model change that front comes through so fast on Thursday. with that strong high out towards the east. I didn't check. I would imagine that high is coming in weaker on the modeling than what we were seeing a couple days ago. But those highs tend to really kind of block systems from coming in, but we're not seeing that. We're seeing a pretty progressive pattern now with the latest model run. So it'll be interesting to see. At some point, we'll get storms next week, though, and it'll help to sweep this all out. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, I think that's it. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know midweek you got a lot going on. You're probably eating dinner right now too. So again, I hope you found this helpful. And if you're watching this later on in the evening, that's okay too. Nothing's outdated. So there's that. All right, make sure you catch us on the radio side of things, X-Rock 103.9, Indiana 105.5, and Z107.1. And don't forget regionweather.com. We've got your daily emails where we make a little picture and send it out to you, and I'll say, hey, good morning, happy Thursday. It's real personal. But we've been sending out some Matt's Morning Minutes in that too. So just some helpful stuff that can go to your inbox, and we don't overload it, just once a day. It's nothing crazy, and no spam, I promise. All right. So there's that. All right. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Enjoy these cooler temperatures while they last, because we've got that warmth coming our way next week. All right. Bye, guys.